The Public Utilities Commission yesterday submitted an alternative plan after it rejected the Ceylon Electricity Board's request to impose power cuts for 3 months. This includes reducing hydropower generation by 50%, direct large-scale power consumers to use generators if ACs are required from 6 to 10 p.m, reducing electricity consumption in the state sector, and reducing electricity consumption in local government authorities by 80%. The Ceylon Electricity Board said it had not received the recommendations of the PUCSL even by this afternoon. The ZEB's General Manager Dr. Rohantha Abesekara said the PUCSL's recommendations are impractical. He added that it is the recommendation on hydropower management that must make recommendations on limiting hydropower generation. The CEB General Manager noted that it would be practical to disconnect power supply to ACs and request the private sector to use generators. However, he said there would be practical issues in monitoring whether the recommendations are being implemented. The CEB General Manager said that operations in some buildings cannot run without air conditioners. The CEB Engineers Union commented on this matter today.
They say that 300 megawatts must be obtained somehow from the private sector, but if the private sector doesn't give it, then there will be a big problem. According to their recommendations, we have to reduce hydropower generation by 5 gigawatt hours. Otherwise, we won't be able to meet the demand. We should preserve water at hydropower stations until we receive rainfall by the end of April. We won't be able to do that. If we can't do it, then the country will have to face a massive crisis. If we don't have hydropower plants, then we would need thermal power plants. But we don't receive fuel even to run thermal power plants. There is an issue with these guidelines because it seems that no one has considered the practical aspect of this. But
the Public Utilities Commission says its recommendations are practical.
We must implement this first to identify whether it's practical or not. We said instead of opting for island-wide power cuts, it is practical to disconnect power supply to large-scale consumers. Many institutions in Sri Lanka, including the media, run operations on generators after obtaining the fuel required for it. Some are asking whether this will create a fuel shortage. But there won't be a fuel shortage because the fuel shortage has arisen as the CEB doesn't have dollars to obtain fuel from the CPC.
Newsfirst made inquiries on whether hydropower generation has been reduced by half based on the recommendations of the Public Utilities Commission. The director of the Water Management Secretariat, Engineer Nilantha Dhanapala, said they would release water for hydropower generation until October.